What's good, YouTube? It's Coffee. Back at it, man. I did a video recently about Kai, the Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker, right? Crazy story. Dude's in jail. He was a viral sensation. Netflix recently did this documentary, so the story's back in the spotlight. It's insane, like, a comment below about it. Like, my bro, Black Bigelow, a.k.a. Lamont at Large, Lamont on the Run, whatever the fuck you want to call him. I'm supposed to talk to him about it because apparently, he did some videos. He does all the true crime stuff. And he says his opinion, Kai's all bad, that he was never a hero. I guess Kai threatened to sue him. I don't know. So I'm supposed to talk to Black Bigelow soon. We're supposed to do a live stream, Coffee Talk It Up. But my video right here, which I'm going to link the video below, so you can go check it out. You see it right here. Kai, the Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker story back in the spotlight. My video was about this one guy that appeared in one part of the documentary from this band, the Red Coats. I believe his name was Gabriel Francisco. In my opinion, to me, he told this story about, I felt the term everyone uses nowadays is clout chase, right? I felt like, in my opinion, that this dude, I don't know. He seemed like he was fronting to me. Again, video link below. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. He said Kai confessed to him, like, yo, I laced the blunt with the joint with all these different drugs. Authorities tested it, said they didn't find anything else in it. But, he claimed Kai told him this, and he said, hey, what he did was like starting a fire and then putting it out and being praised as a hero, So, I don't know. Once again, Lamont at Large said Kai's all bad as well. But when I watched the Netflix documentary, I was like, man, I don't know about this guy. His story seems a little funny. Again, go check the video out below. But he's commented here. He left a lengthy response. So let's get into it. He says, okay, sir, let's start a conversation, and I will do my best to be polite, civil, and respectful. So I greatly appreciate that. As always, guys, I always say on these videos, the whole purpose of J Coffee Talk is to coffee talk it up with y'all, the people, So I always encourage people to tap in and hit them comments. Let's coffee talk it up. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe and join the discussion. We literally talk about everything over on this channel, So thank you, Gabriel of the Red Coats, for, tapping in, but being respectful. He says, I didn't know that this was going to become what it was. I was not contacted by Netflix. I was contacted by an intern from a production company in England that I never heard of. I've been living with this experience for almost a decade at that time. And when I was asked about the show from a personal message sent directly to us, I told them what he said. They were so taken, they arranged a phone call that was recorded, which led to a discussion with the director and eventually the interview itself that ended up in the doc. I was asked and agreed to not do much research and just to say what happened, which I did. I didn't know much about Kai beyond my personal experience with him. He says, I will die on this hill. Kai said what he said, and he said it proudly and laughing. And I've since talked to others who shared experiences where he did and said the same thing to them. Once at a party and once when staying with a booker for 5 days. The booker personally told me that Kai told him the same thing he told me and wouldn't often change his voice and sound as he does in person. So let me stop right there. Sounds like almost like a split personality. I don't know. I mean, listen, it's very apparent that Kai is a real troubled person, mental illness. And, anyone who watches the J Coffee Talk platform, y'all know I don't judge, look down. I mean, wicked demons and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, mental illness, I'm not being oh, this crazy bastard. You know what I mean? But evil is evil. And, again, I was supposed to talk to Black Bigelow soon. Shout out Kale. She's very tapped in with Black Bigelow, and she was responding to me about some of this stuff and was saying that this guy has all kinds of stories, lies, etc. And what Gabe's getting into here sounds something down to the same extent, you know? Like how he's saying, hey, I share what he said. And, you know, this production company hit me up and was like, hey, don't do much research, just boom, you know? Like, I watched this documentary, and again, I remembered back when all this happened, I remembered the viral video and everything, but I wasn't all the way into the story. Like the internet, for me, I mean, the internet keeps evolving in many different crazy ways. The blogosphere is a wild place, you know. But you know, back then I wasn't all the way tapped in like I am now with social media and different things of that nature. But I don't know. I just watched it. I was like, man, this just from what I'm seeing, it felt like this guy was telling some tall tales. But you heard him. He says he will die on that hill. That's a fact. Kai told him he laced the weed, and that you hear what he's saying here. Other people told him the same thing, that he said it to them proudly, and that he the whole voice tone and everything was like another personality, or like he was playing a character, you know, that fun-loving hippie surfer dude, right? So let's continue on. This booker personally told me that Kai told him the same thing he told me, and would often change his voice and sound as he does now in prison. Much different than he did in the interview with Jessup and on Kimmel, and plenty of other encounters. Why does he suddenly speak completely different? That rubs no one the wrong way. Kai openly admitted to heavily abusing LSD at this time in his life, and during that 3-month period on his own self-made prison video that he uploaded himself to YouTube. The video can literally be viewed by anyone right now. In the same video, Kai makes many claims beyond the claims he's already made, and some of the claims are hard to believe. He claimed his dad and stepmom made him have sex with every girl in his childhood class, and many other extreme claims. Was Kai locked in a room or a cage? He claims a cage, but his cousin says it was a room. So let's stop there. Again, I've seen some of these prison videos. Like there's a whole channel of them. He definitely still has some supporters out there trying to fight to free him. I haven't sat there and watched them all. I have watched some in what Gabe is speaking of here about like his horrible life and abuse. You know, you hear what he's saying. Like some of it seems outlandish or inconsistent, or maybe like things change. I've heard this from people. Again, everyone, please join the discussion in the comments. And also, let's just throw it out there as well. Sharing your thoughts in the comments also about just the case. Like, what do you guys think happened? And again, I'm going to pin that link to my original video below. I'd like everyone to, check it out if you haven't, and share your thoughts. Like, it's just such a bizarre situation for someone to just be this hero and this, this viral internet star, and just like all that happened and transpired in a 3-month period, and him to be in prison, and then, like the crime, what happened that landed him in prison. It's just also bizarre. And I don't know, man. Definitely a troubled guy, though. And we seen his mom on the documentary. She was just all like pretty much just down talking her. I don't know how to explain it. Like, just, she loves her son, and he's got some tall tales, and he was troubled. I don't know. The cousin did say on the documentary, though, he was like kept in the house. Wifey, my wife, right? When we watched it, she was like, just her take, as I always share with you guys. I don't know, like wifey just has good intuition. I'm not saying she's right all the time, and again, I never claim to be no expert. We're just talking. Once again, this is Jay Coffee Talk, right? But wifey was like, man, I bet you she was a young mother and just like was overwhelmed and wasn't ready to be a mom yet, and didn't want to deal with the kid or whatever, because I believe she was a single mom. And wifey was like, and now she's probably more mature. I don't know. That was just her take. I'm just throwing that out there again. This is Jay Coffee. I talk my ass off sometimes too much, but just hit the comments, guys, with all your thoughts on everything we're talking about across the board. He says, Kai says a lot of things, and to blindly believe everything he says, I think isn't wise. Kai has directly called me specifically a liar after seeing the documentary and plans to sue me. But honestly, all that would do is allow me to testify in court of law what he said which I have no problem with. I'm not afraid of getting caught in a lie because I'm not lying. He is. So to that, I'm just saying, hey, I'm not saying I blindly believe everything this guy says. My video is just purely me reacting to what I saw. You know, like the way the guy was like, man, I was terrified. I didn't want to be anywhere near this dude when all this was going to come out. And then, you know, he talks about the photo op, and then you see him, you know, cheesing right next to the guy. I don't know. But again, this is the internet, man. We talk about things, you know. But I say this not in a malicious way. I don't think he's giving it to me that way. You know, he says he'll die on a hill, that he's not lying. And again, man, I respect if I'm sure you'll catch this video. I'm actually gonna link this video, you know, underneath your video, you know, or your comment to me on this thread right here that I'm reading right now. But, you know, I respect you tapping in, man, and doing it in that way, you know, because so often in the blogosphere, guys, especially like in a lot of the hip hop news and stuff, those that have been watching Jay Coffee talk for a long time, we've seen, you know, certain individuals like just bug out. You know, we know there's cats out there that just troll the internet for any traces of anything about them. And even if you're not, like, in a sense, if this dude is mad, I get why he's mad. You know, what I said, I could understand it angering him, but still he conducted himself, you know, like a gentleman in his response. But like with some of these cats that I'm talking about, like no one's even talking ish about them. They're just like obsessed with if you know, the image that they're pushing or whatever. Like, you know, if they don't agree with something, they just go bizarre and just flip out, you know, go bizarre, go berserk and act all bizarre and flip out. But again, this guy, Gabe, thank you for being a gentleman. So let's continue on. And yo, the sue thing, he said about him suing him. That's what I was saying. Kale was, you know, informed me that that's what Black Bigelow was saying as well. And this Gabe guy would be a good interview from our bro Black Bigelow. Just throwing that out there, man. And Gabe, that would be good for you. Black Bigelow got a big platform, a big devoted audience that loves him. He says, he told me and others he laced the joint. He told the world and the police he didn't. Either he lied to people in private or he lied to the world. Either way, now that's confirmed that he's officially stating that it's bullish. I know he has no remorse about lying. He's doubling down. Is he lying about everything? I can't say. But I will say this. I didn't want to be known for being associated with this manipulative, duplicitous person. I wanted to be known for my art, and yes, we struggled for a long time, but I would never lie about such a thing. So I respect what you're saying there. I believe the reason he's putting that out is because, once again, I'll link my video below. I can't remember. Those who watch Jay Coffee talk, again, y'all know I'm like, I'm just a voice, you know? I'm just a voice floating around in the blogosphere, you know? Like, this is my art, and I struggle with this. So, you know, like, but more or less what I'm getting at is people like when people talk spicy and all that, and I typically don't. But I feel like on that video, I might have been talking a little spicy. I have to go back and watch it, you know? I just throw these vids up. I love making them. I love, you know, just having good convos with people out there in the blogosphere. And again, if you're new, hit the like, subscribe. Let's talk about all this. But because the reason why I'm saying that is because I mentioned how he just felt disingenuous to me, and I pointed out that his band doesn't have a big following, and I believe that's why he's saying that about his art and about struggling. But my man, I ain't dissing you for that. That's not my style. I would never really diss someone for something like that. Maybe if they had some big ego and, you know, we're talking in this, like, I'm better, like, I'm the ish type of way when they're really not or something, then maybe, you know, but maybe I would get at someone like that. But once again, I struggle on here. You know what I mean? This is my art, so don't think I'm putting you down, you know? So where were we at? I wanted to be known for, okay. And the picture, they cut it out, but I had a camera in my face and was trying to make a weird face so that you couldn't tell it was me at a glance. I admit that kind of sounds stupid, but it's the decision I made in the moment. Okay? So again, thank you for tapping in, Gabe. Maybe we'll talk at some point or something. You seem like a cool dude. And again, I really respect, like, listen, this is how you have conversations with people and network and different things. And this is wild. So you see, he's saying he will die on a hill with this statement. Kai told him he laced the joint. Now, it is possible. I'll point that out. I've shared with y'all guys, J Coffee Talk. I am a square, but at the same time, I've been around the block in life. I know a little bit about drugs and whatnot. So I'm sure it is possible for drugs to not show up that could have been in the weed. I don't know. I'm just curious too if Gabe, if you do, you hear this, if you remember what he said he laced it with, but that's wild. And you see, he says other people have said this as well. Maybe they'll find this video and join the conversation as well. But you heard what he's saying. He's like, could he be lying that he did that? And, telling the authorities and everyone he didn't or whatever. Like, it's possible. People lie about weird stuff. And again, it does seem like this guy is a very troubled dude. I'm by no means Team Kai. He had a cool story. And, it was like a dude you wanted to root for. But there's definitely some manipulative things about him, it seems, or in a sense, something I'm not really going to elaborate on. But, I have a couple very manipulative people in my family. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes the things that they lie about and how they lie and how they turn people against each other, like trying to make sense of it or apply logical thought to it, just doesn't work out well. And I don't know, but it's just very interesting. What does everyone think? Did Kai lace the joint? I don't know, again, Gabe, though, I'm starting to talk in circles. Much love and respect to you. I'm going to leave him this link below. Everyone tap in. Thoughts about the case, go check out my first video. What do you think about the statement that this guy made in the doc and what he's saying now and everything? And here's what he says too. Here's the video so you don't have to search for it. Mentions how much LSD he would take at that time at 30:05. So let's go to that. And I believe I did see this clip somewhere, man. Yo, LSD, man. Hey, we were talking about like LSD, some crazy stuff, right? We know MK Ultra, right? That's something that we talked about recently, man. Manson and Whitey Bulger and the CIA and all that, right? It was Kai some kind of, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I wondered for any conspiracy theorists are like, yo, was Kai a part of the MK Ultra project? Was he an MK Ultra experiment out there? I don't know, man. Dude was just definitely living a wild life. It's still, I just can't believe that all happened in 3 months. So let's check it out, though. Where the hell did it go? Apologies, y'all. No, we're trying to... Oh, it's at 30:05 in this video. Sorry. Oh, we got an ad. 30:05, he says. All right, we'll start a little before.
Don't be disrespectful. And then she claimed to represent all women everywhere. I said I cleaved a motherfucker's head wide open to save women in front of a school bus full of kids. But I question who is the worst example for children. Me for telling her in front of kids to stop being a fucking jackass, or her for being a fucking jackass in front of kids. People ask me why I pissed on the Walk of Fame, and they just don't realize how much acid I dropped before the producers of the Kardashians picked me up. I was still tripping and drunk on Jack when security kicked me out of the Hollywood Roosevelt for skateboarding in the lobby. It was after dark and all the kids had gone home. It just made sense to show a gold on a star after that. It would make sense to you too after 4 quarts of LSD and a bottle of Jack Daniel. But I gave away everything I owned to the poor afterwards, so that makes it better, right? Janet Pruden published an article about...
Yeah, so you heard him there. He's talking about now, they did mention that in the documentary. He was like pissing on the Walk of Fame, exposing himself in public. That is weird. I don't know. Yo, I'll tell you, aside from him, though, just a thought when I was in L.A. like a year ago on a family vacation. One of the places we did go was Hollywood. And man, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, there is people just pissing everywhere. Bums, crazy people. One guy was fully clothed, just sitting there continuously pissing himself with a puddle of piss. Just like, it is disgusting, man. You know what I mean? And again, I tell you, I've been around the block. I've lived in some very rough areas and whatnot. So I'm glad to be out of there, though. You know, I don't glamorize that at all. But like, I was just like, damn, Hollywood is twisted, you know. But so often tourist destinations are. You know, I lived in a tourist destination that was the hood was run down and whatnot, political corruption and all kinds of ish. But like, it always seems that way, don't it? Y'all comment and let me know if you've noticed that as well. Like every tourist area, it's like right outside of the tourist area is bordered by the hood or a homeless element or crime. You know what I'm saying? It's just wild. But you see, he pointed it out. Like he has a different voice. He seems like a different person almost here. I don't know. Listen, dropping acid. That's crazy. Yo, that's wild that this man was like dropped acid when he met with the Kardashian producers, man. I don't know. The one dude on the Netflix doc was like, there was no way that would happen, that he would have been able to, have that reality show. Hell, he was like, he couldn't even do the movie reviews on Jimmy Kimmel. Yo, what did he was talking about? What was he talking about? Like chemtrails and ish. Like, I don't know, man. That acid would definitely fry your brain. That's something, too, I wanted to talk with y'all about in some other videos, is psychedelics, hallucinogenics, and everything. Anytime that's ever came up, it seems like a conversation a lot of people really like to talk about, and the government had a very deep interest in it with mind control and going to other dimensions and things like that. But I'm getting a bit off topic. And yeah, listen, I've only done psychedelics a couple times in my life. Not something I'm trying to do or promote to anyone. It's just an interesting thing to talk about, But yeah, so Kai was out here dropping lots of acid right around the time of his viral fame. He definitely talks different in here. But I'm going to conclude this one, y'all. You guys see it. That was, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Gabe Francisco of the Redcoats. Hold on, I'm trying. Oh, I can't click and go to his profile. But you see, that's a Redcoats official.